everyone. It's Friday. Well done for getting through another week. And we're going to do our afternoon lesson, which is the fantastic subject of science. So I'm going to share my screen and then we can get cracking with our lovely science work. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen, and our learning intention today is to identify and name a variety of common mammals. And we're focusing on this word here, mammals, because we're carrying on our topic of animals, including humans, and we're looking at different types of animals and how they can be grouped and classified, which links very nicely to our working scientifically skills and our working scientifically wheel. Now, as you know, we always do an Explorify starter. So our Explorify starter today is odd one out. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to look at these three animals. So we have got a hedgehog, a brown bear, and a bat. Okay, that's a bat hanging upside down, having a little snooze. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about the odd one out. Which one do you think is the odd one out? Now, you might think that maybe the hedgehog is the odd one out because it's the only one that is spiky. Okay, can you come up with any other reasons why one of these animals might be the odd one out? Now, remember with this, there is no right or wrong answer. It's just trying to get us to get in the science mindset and to think about and articulate and verbalize what we are thinking. Okay, so pause the video here so you can have a little chat with the person at home. What do you think the odd one out is? Okay, so today we're going to start looking into different categories and classifications of animals we have. Now, like I said, it links so nicely to our working scientifically skill. Okay, and here is our working scientifically wheel that you can see. And these are the things that we are focusing on. Now, today we're focusing on classifying animals and sorting them into groups. And the group that we're going to focus in on today is the group that are called mammals. Okay, it's just the red word here. So, do you know what a mammal is? You may have heard of the word mammal before. Okay, do you know what that word actually means? Pause the video, have a little chat with the person at home. Have you heard that Have you heard that name before, mammal? Do you have any clue or idea what it is, or any examples of animals that might be mammals? Okay, hopefully you've been having a little chat. Now, please don't panic if you don't know, because we are going to find out today. So let's go through some of these animals. Okay, do you recognize any of these animals? So here they are. We've got three animals. So what's this very first one? Exactly, it's a hedgehog. What about this? It's a rabbit. And last but not least, a bit of a strange one. It's a water shrew. Okay, hedgehogs and shrews eat insects. There are three types of shrew in the UK. Can you guess what water shrews live near? I think the clue is in the name. Excellent, they live near the water, definitely. Okay, you might be thinking, why are we going through these? All will be revealed very, very soon, I promise. So let's look at these animals now. Okay, we've got, what's this here? Absolutely, you might see them scurrying around in your garden or when you're going for walks. The red squirrel. Okay, obviously there are other colours as well. And what's this? Okay, look closely. What do you think it could be? It's a beaver. Okay, and they like to build dams in the water. And we've got, tricky one. I'm not sure I know what that is. It's a dormouse. Okay. And then last but not least, it's a bank vole. Okay, so a vole is like a teeny weeny mouse. And these animals are all part of the rodent family. Okay, so we know that there are hundreds of animals in this planet. There are hundreds of animals. They're all slightly different, and they all have different groups or families that we class them in. So this group here are called the rodent family. Their teeth are always growing, so they gnaw hard things to keep them short. That's why we see squirrels nibbling at things so much. That's why beavers are nibbling at wood so much, to wear down their teeth to keep them a bit shorter. I didn't know that. That's something I've learned already in today's science lesson. What about these animals? Okay, my favorite. It's a domestic cat, just a cat. Okay, domestic just means that it's a pet, not a wild cat. And we've got a fox, Any clues what that might be? Any ideas? It's a weasel. And last but not least, we know what that is. It's a dog. Now, these are meat eaters. So dogs and cats are popular pets. Some people even have pet weasels, which is very, very exciting. I'd love to have a pet weasel. So you might be thinking, why have I shown you those animals? Okay, well, hopefully, number one, you've learned a few new animals. Okay, but the reason I've shown you them is because they are all mammals. They are all mammals. They all belong to that group, mammals. So even though they're in different families or groups themselves, like the rodent family, okay, they are all mammals. So let's look at what it means to be a mammal. All mammals have fur or hair, okay, and there's a picture of a squirrel there. I'll give you an example. All mammals are, this is a tricky word today, vertebrates. Can you say it? Vertebrates. Well done. This means they have a backbone, okay? They've got a spine, a bone, or sets of bones that go down their back and give their back structure. And we are examples of mammals. Can you feel your back? Have a little feel of your back now. Can you feel the spine that goes down the middle? Now, most mammals give birth to live young, unlike birds who lay eggs. So there's an example here of a cow. And the cow gives birth to the calf, and the calf, very soon after, it stands up and it's walking around, which is amazing. It's like a miracle. All mammals are warm-blooded. This means that they keep their body temperature the same no matter the weather. They've got an example here of a fox. Okay, in a snowy scene, it would still be the same temperature. And all mammals feed their young with their milk. And we can see there's the mummy pig, and we can see the baby pigs feeding on the mother with their milk. So, it's time for a quick game, and we're going to play this game at the end of our science lesson as well. This game is called Guess the Mammal. I'm going to read out these sentences, and I want you to picture in your head what you think this mammal could be. It mainly eats fish and squid. It lives in the sea. It is often blue or grey, and I think this last clue is the best clue. It is friendly and likes to play. What animal do you think that might be? So it's a sea animal. They're super friendly. They like to play, jumping out. It is, of course, a dolphin. Okay, a dolphin, and there's a fun fact here. A group of dolphins is called a pod or a school. That's crazy. We go to school, don't we? But they're called a school or a pod. Male dolphins are called bulls. Female dolphins are called cows, and their youngs are called calves. Goodness me, full of fun facts, this science lesson. So, your first activity today is to use this classification key. I'm going to try and make it a little bit bigger for you. Okay. Use this classification key to help you sort these animals and decipher what they are. Now, you may know the names of these animals already, and that is absolutely great. But this key skill, this key science skill, is helping us classify animals by using the flowchart. Now, a flowchart is a hard thing to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first one together. So I'm going to have a look at this one. Okay. Now, I know what this animal is, but I'm going to follow my flowchart and see if I can work it out using that. So is it a rodent? Well, remember, a rodent means that it has long teeth and it is constantly gnawing on them, okay, to wear down their teeth. So is it a rodent? I think this one is a rodent. So I'm going to follow the yes line. Okay, if you don't think it's a rodent, you're going to follow the no line. Does it have waterproof fur? Well, looking at that picture, that one lives by the water. So I think, yes, that has waterproof fur. So I know that that animal there is a beaver. And what you can do is you can then label it and say beaver. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to follow the flowchart for the rest of the animals and work out what these animals are. So remember, the first question is it a rodent? If it's yes, you follow the green line. If it's no, you follow the red line. And then you look at the next question and you answer it. And you should be able to place and work out each of those animals. So what I'd like you to do now, you don't need to do any writing for this activity. I'd like you to pause the video and I would like you to work through the flowchart. Start with this animal here. Okay, so is it a rodent? No, that one's not a rodent. Does it eat meat? Yes, it does. Okay, keep going, looking at the tail, looking at the ears, things like that. Okay, is it a pet? And work your way down the flowchart. Then go on to this one, the next 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 one. See if you can get all of those done. Okay, and that would be fantastic. So pause the video here and work your way through that flowchart. Excellent work here, one. Well done for working your way through that flowchart. Okay, that was a nice kind of practical activity, no writing, which is fantastic for Friday afternoon. Okay, once you've done that, if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can think of some similarities and differences between some of the mammals that you have just looked at. So some of these mammals here. So you might pick the beaver and you might pick this domestic cat, okay, or a cat. And you might look at those and think, well, similarities between those is they both got fur, they both have tails, okay. What else is the same about them? And then think about some of the differences. So I can see that the cat has got pointy ears. The beaver does not have pointy ears. I know that the beaver is a rodent. Its teeth are constantly growing, whereas the cat's teeth are not constantly growing. Okay. Cats, traditionally, they don't like going in water. Some cats do, but most often they don't. Whereas beavers, they live near water. So maybe pick another two animals that you sorted using our classification flowchart and compare them. Look for similarities and differences. Again, you can just talk this through. If you'd like to write down some similarities and differences, that is up to you. That would be fantastic. There is an extension activity today, and it's just a bit of research. I would love for you to find out what other what other mammals you can find. So can you find and research? Maybe you could use the internet to perform a search for some mammals. We know that we are a mammal. Remember those things that it needs to be a mammal. And I'll flick back. It needs to have fur or hair. It needs to have a backbone. It needs to give birth to live young, unlike birds who lay eggs. They're warm-blooded and they feed their young with their milk. Remember, there are some exceptions. So that means there are some mammals that do not follow these rules. For example, a whale. Okay, a whale is classed as a mammal, but they don't have fur, do they? Okay, so there are some sneaky little exceptions. See if you can research any more of those animals. You might pick an animal and you might write down some facts that you've learned. That would be fantastic. We're going to finish with another round of Guess the Mammal. Okay, you ready? It mainly eats insects and spiders. Okay, insects and spiders. It hunts at night. It can fly. And it hangs upside down. Hangs upside down is a good clue. I think this might be one that was in our starter question and our odd one out. What do you think? It's a bat. So a bat is a type of mammal because it has fur, it has a backbone, okay? It gives birth to live young, okay? And it says that bats fly silently at night and sleep in small spaces during the day. They hibernate during the winter. That's another lovely keyword there, hibernate. Do you know what that means? Excellent. It means that they sleep a lot of the time during the winter. Okay, they hide themselves away in the winter months and come back out in summer months. Okay, excellent work today, team. Hope you enjoy using that classification grid and a bit of a break from writing. And then I can't wait to see some of your research if you've chosen to do that extension activity. Have a lovely weekend, team.